Yeah, see, entrance examination at scale, public examinations at scale has been conducted for several decades. Well, there are unfortunate events of leak that has happened. There are many examinations that have been conducted very successfully. Even in this year, we had JEE Mains, JEE Advanced, and GATE examination, for example, large-scale examinations that have been conducted. Unfortunately, NEET had a problem this year. So, there are two aspects to the examination. When you look at the examination, basically, we need a robust, we need a leak-proof, we need a transparent, robust, transparent, leak-proof examination at scale. What has happened over the last 4 decades? I wrote my JEE in 1985, where 5,000 candidates wrote. Today, 1.5 million candidates aspire to come to IIT. So the biggest change that has happened is the scale, number of students. So technology intervention becomes extremely important. So as a system, when we started in, let us say 1985, 1990s, we did have written examination in subject paper, subjective questions. From there we moved on to OSR, ORS, the optical response sheet, which was a technology that we IITs introduced and many followed, even NEET is following that. And subsequently we came to CBT, the computer-based test. The biggest advantage of CBT is the question paper will be under the control of some person and only on the date of examination it will be opened up. So the leak of a question paper is very minimal in the case of CBT. There are two eyes to this. One thing is the examination has to be transparent from a student perspective. In the sense, I get 90 marks, I should know why I was awarded 90 marks. The second thing is it should be leak proof, because being competitive, if some other student scores more than me, then it is a leak, right? So when we use it for ranking purposes, it should be transparent and leak proof. That is the expectation of the student. Now, let us take NEET for example. NEET 2024, when we looked at NEET 2024, there was a leak that happened. But that leak happened after the question paper went out of the NTA. It was printed and all, and it was on transit from a collection center to a distribution center to a collection center, the examination hall or examination center, that somebody opened a box and it got leaked. That's what CBA report says. And CBA actually told that it is contained within some 50 students maximum would have, and all of them are identified. So a pill was put in the Honorable Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court for at least 3 days the case was heard. And finally the Supreme Court, when threadbare, they analyzed it and then finally came to an order that a retest is not necessary because the leak was contained. Subsequently, the Ministry of Education, at the time under the guidance of Pradhanji, actually put a committee headed by the chairman, chaired by Professor Radhakrishnan. Dr. Radhakrishnan was the ISRO chairman, former chairman of ISRO, and then many eminent people. And they looked at what happened in that 2024 leak. And then a lot of remedial measures were suggested, around 250 plus remedial measures, which were put on the web. To be frank, NTA adopted many of this. And when we look at 2026, from the point when the question paper left the NTA premises, then it went for printing, it was put into trunks, and then it was delivered at multiple centers, etc. No leak has happened. That way, whatever recommendations of Radhakrishnan actually committee has worked. But the leak happened shockingly before that. The question paper setters have leaked. That's what we see from the CBA reports. So any operation, friend, there's something called root of trust, right? Your PTI has given a trust to you to interview me. If you don't do, the interview is not going to go. Every operation today has a root of trust. And the root of trust in examination are the question paper setters. Whatever you put, other digital encryption, all these things are after that. And the question paper setter in India, we have Mata, Pita, Guru, Daiva. Guru is treated, as a very big person. And if these teachers who actually were some question paper setters, if these fellows go and leak, we can't do anything about it. So that was the fall of this 2026 NEET first. Of course, they recovered and they made. So the biggest challenge that we would like to address in this committee, coming back to your question, I had to give this background for the viewers. The biggest challenge is to see how we get trusted set of people to set question papers and where technology can help. You may say I can take from question banks and AI can set, but anyway somebody has to verify what is correct, etc. So, and NEET also is very inclusive. We have 12 languages, 12 plus languages where, so there's a language translation also happens. So at least 40 to 50 people are involved in this entire process. And even if one is compromised, they will have an access to the question paper and we are done. So this is the whole challenge now. How do you bring technology to this? And we will know as a committee, still we have not met, so what I am talking is my personal view. The committee may have a different view. But what I feel is that as a committee, we will look into all that has happened, all good things that have happened, all bad things that have happened. Learn from the good things and see how to avoid the bad things and put things into perspective and build a system. So the reform that we are talking of today is more about trust. And how do we inculcate that trust and how we may use technology so that even if one is compromised, the impact will not be large.